What's going on, everyone? Trust the Buzz here. If you're new to the channel, I make daily Charlotte Hornets content. So if that interests you, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. If you cannot tell by the thumbnail title of this video, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the issues the Charlotte Hornets are having with injury, because we are just finding out, I guess for sure, because a lot of people thought this thing, but we're finding out for sure that the Charlotte Hornets medical staff is just trash. And what I mean by that is, if you haven't seen Gordon Hayward's wife, she made some posts on Instagram, I think to her Instagram story, basically saying that the Hornets calling Gordon Hayward's shoulder injury a bruise is wild, and basically she's saying it's a fracture, in which we come to find out after the game that it is indeed a fracture, and that they were still basically the way she worded it is basically saying that they kind of I guess nudged him to play, which is something I thought that was going on, because we saw the comments from LaMelo Ball where he kind of said that because of the Dennis Smith Jr. injury, LaMelo Ball came back a game early, so that maybe I think it was 2 games early. I think his first game was supposed to be at home, so I think he came back 2 games early because the injury to Dennis Smith Jr. And then we saw that he got re-injured, and then the Cody Martin thing. And to be honest, it all comes down to the medical staff. This medical staff seems very incompetent. They seem as though they are. I don't know. It's the part of the medical staff is to strictly diagnose, like make sure you know what you're talking about when you diagnose these injuries. 2, help players from themselves, and that's something that I've been kind of arguing with on Twitter. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'll put the link down in the comment section below. It's at TrustBuzz on Twitter. But anyway, kind of like a discussion I've been getting into on Twitter is that people are saying like, oh, well, the players, sometimes they want to play, so don't blame the medical staff and this, that, and the other. And I get it, because I was saying essentially that why are the Hornets rushing people back? And people were kind of, pushing back on that and saying they're not rushing people. Well, it's like they can't rush people back. The player has to agree too. But it's like also, the league, they're going to urge you to play. For some reason, the current Charlotte Hornets, they're obsessed with trying to win, even though they're not obsessed with trying to win. They say they're trying to win. They want to do this, and they do moves like win now moves, but they're not good win now moves. It don't make any sense. But they're trying to rush these people back to hurry up and get the season back on track. And I guess it's just not working. It's just causing more injury. LaMelo Ball was a freak accident, but even though it was kind of a freak accident, he still didn't look 100% healthy, which in a season like this, why rush? It's only 20 games at that point, like maybe 15 games in. You have a lot. You can have a whole half of the season if you're like, oh, well, we want him to play basketball, get him in basketball shape, this, that, and the other. You have a whole season for that, because this team is not going to be good. So I kind of didn't understand why they would rush LaMelo back. Dennis Smith Jr., people are feeling like he's being rushed back because he got re-injured. Terry Rozier, I know for a fact, was rushed back just because Terry Rozier himself said, hey, I'm going to play next game after he got injured. And then the team was like, oh, maybe not. And then they still kind of rushed him back because he missed a few games, and then they put him out there, and he doesn't look like himself at all right now. So the medical staff is just, I don't know what's going on. But this goes to my sentiment that Jordan, honestly, I don't look. It's easy to say. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if someone's telling him these things, but Jordan needs to go or something, or let some people go. I don't know, because this team is just so, I don't know. They're so behind in just all the tactics of the front office. They're so behind in how the game's played today. They're so behind on just how teams are ran today. It just seems like everything. And a lot of teams, this happens. Like, there's like injury discrepancies and things like that. It makes people mad. We've seen it with Kawhi Leonard. We've seen it with a lot of players that injuries can really if the relationship's already fractured, the injuries could really mess that up. And no pun intended, but it's just, in reality, if a player doesn't like how you're dealing with his injury, that's going to make the situation so much worse than almost anything. Like, I think that's worse than like losing almost, in a way. But it's just the Charlotte Hornets. Like I said, a lot of teams are, called out for this, but it just seems like for the Charlotte Hornets, we can't get anything right. And that's what makes it so much worse. Not only does the league do this to players where they try to make them, play when they're not ready and things like that. not only is that a problem as a league, but it just hurts worse when it's the Hornets and it's like, we can't really put a team together. We can't draft. We can't do this. We can't do that. Our medical, you know what I'm saying? It just seems like not only are we not winning, not winning is tough, but not only are we not winning, but also our team is just ran like complete trash. And I don't think there's a good aspect of it within the organization. And I don't want to blame 100% the organization, but I don't want to blame Gordon Hayward too. You can get frustrated and say, Gordon Hayward injured again, which, like, in the reality of it, yeah, it's like I'm not surprised. In the reality of just accepting that, because he gets injured every season he's here, it's just, I don't know, and that's not, I'm not gonna blame that on the medical staff. I'm not even gonna blame that on Gordon Hayward. Just, he can't control something about his body. It just makes it feeble, basically. But at the same time, it's just like, man, why can't we get anything right? But it is what it is. There's not really much we can do. We just have to sit here and continue to suffer. But great win last night. When I'm recording this video, they did a great job against the Timberwolves, being shorthanded for sure. But the Charlotte Hornets have so many just other problems outside of what's going on the court, to be honest with you. And until those problems are solved, that what we get on the court is not going to be anything we want, to be honest with you, because it's just they seem to not even can get behind the closed doors right. And it works for them, because I don't know if I was watching this Through the Wire podcast when I think they were in LA or something like that. And while they were in LA, they interviewed Jamal Crawford. And Jamal Crawford said one thing is, some teams do not like a lot of vets because they want to control the players. Now, one thing we know about Michael Jordan is that he likes to run a tight ship. So if everybody under him needs to be yes men, makes sense why this team doesn't have veterans, makes sense how they can get away with stuff like this, or makes sense why it seems like it's all happy behind closed doors when you draft guys who are on their last leg in the league. So like not draft, but you pick up guys, Dennis Smith Jr., Theo Maledon, okay, and then you draft very young players, or just you get the James Bouknights of the world, Kai Jones of the world, Mark Williams, Bryce McCallum. You get guys like that, or laid back guys, even very even keel guys, because all those guys seem very even keel. They're going to be able to try to take advantage of every little thing, and they want, like I said, want to run a tight ship. And it's proven itself more and more that it is the way the team plays on the court is just so much of a reflection of how the teams ran. It's just frustrating at times, but anyway, that does it for this video. I really don't want to come on here and just talk bad about the Hornets, but that's something that is a major concern. It should be a major concern for the team, because there's just so much already going on with us that people feel like, our players can't act right. Now we're not handling injuries properly. We're just, so much is going on that I don't know. I don't know what to think. And, especially with the rumors going on about Michael Jordan looking to sell the team, depending on what the number looks like for the Phoenix Suns, and maybe he's already hands off, or I don't know what it is, but this year has just not been a good year. And I'm not even talking about the things on the court. Off the court maybe has even been worse than what has been on the court. But until what's fixed off the court, until that's fixed, on the court is going to suffer forever. And I mean that, like, until they fix whatever's going on between those office doors, what we see on the court is not going to be anything like we ever wanted. It's not going to be anything worth bragging about. But until then, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.